Hello there guys and welcome back to the channel. Right, as we are still waiting for Aegon Part 2 video to reach the 800 likes. Currently it's on 500 plus. We do have some more rank 4 gameplay to showcase, and this time around it is going to be Mojo. Now, first thing that I do need to point out, obviously, is Mojo is a ramp-up character. So in some of these fights, he will not look as impressive as he could if he would start up fully ramped. That's kind of one of the cool things about Mojo. You can still get the same damage even on fight 1 later on in the fight, but it is hell of a quicker and hell of a nicer if you do start the fight ramped up and you immediately have access to that fury and full damage output. So as far as ramp up champions go, Mojo has one of the more seeming less effortless ramp ups. Also, obviously, huge thank you to Brav0 for sending over all the footage of Mojo. I actually do have quite a few more rank 4 gameplay to showcase, and I can't seem to get through it quickly enough. We have Hitmonkey coming up, Thor Ragnarok coming up. I think we have some Ghost rank 4 as well. I think we have some Professor X and a whole bunch of other ones. But thank you to everybody for sending in the gameplay. And again, if I do not get to it immediately, please do not feel bad about it. I am trying my best here. And I actually really like and absolutely love and enjoy doing these showcases. So as we can see here in the first fight, we're also going to immediately notice that MD is only at level 2 or 3 in these clips. And you could increase Mojo's damage output quite significantly with higher level of Mystic Dispersion, because you would have obviously more specials to drop. Occasionally you would push yourself level 3, but you would genuinely do have quite a bit higher damage output. So that was kind of like my one bigger wish for this one. If there only would be higher MD on, the numbers definitely would be bigger, and at times you could go from level 2 to level 2 pretty much immediately. And still, we are here, and that was the Winter Soldier fight. So next up we have Captain Marvel. We will have some Act 7 footage as well, and by the end of it I'm going to put on some Labyrinth of Legends Star-Lord footage also. One of the coolest things about Mojo is that he is capable of performing well in all of the fights, not like plenty of other Mystic champions who shine only when there are many buffs involved. Mojo brings his own buffs, and that has always been one of the things that I absolutely loved about the character. I do also have rank 3 Mojo myself, and I genuinely have tons of fun using the guy. He, in my opinion, is one of the more fun characters in the game. And obviously there is plenty of offensive utility also hidden in the champion. Most people look at Mojo as a bane on defense, and he is. He is a scary, scary defender. But the fact that he gains power as quickly as he does, the fact that he can seemingly endlessly float from like 20 to 60% health thanks to his healing increasing the more health you have lost, has frequent and easy access to Unstoppable with a single synergy, has access to Fury, and obviously the fact that he does most of the damage via passive degeneration over time. And lastly, obviously still, it is a very unique and interesting buff control, where many other Mystic champions often cannot do much about the buffs, and if they have some sort of nullify immunities and things like that. But Mojo doesn't nullify them, he just makes them expire instantly. So I do like all of those things, and that makes Mojo quite quirky, quite unique, and definitely enjoyable to use. Now we're going to have one matchup where Mojo obviously is going to be performing slightly bit better, and that is primarily because Juggernaut does bring some of his own buffs to the game. He has a chance to trigger Fury. Every time he's going to use a special attack, he will also trigger the Unstoppable, which will let Mojo place additional degen. So in any matchup where opponent does have buffs of their own that do expire, obviously your damage output is increased, and it is quite awesome and quite helpful if you ask me. Again, this matchup would have been way more crazier with high levels of MD, but here we are nonetheless. So there he dashes in a bit too early, because during special attack that Unstoppable does seem to be paused, but nonetheless he used the level 2 there, unfortunately, without having his aura active. I actually don't even remember the name of that aura. I always jokingly compared it to a fart aura because it does look suspiciously like some greenhouse emissions from a weird alien. Either way, Jag at this point is obviously melting. He does have that Incinerate on heavy attacks, and we did hope initially when Mojo was released that Incinerate could be potentially as potent as Dominos was on heavy attack. But I digress. Unfortunately, it was not. But here we are. So now he is going to go in for another level 2. And at this point, we can see what up to 7 degens on the Juggernaut ticking in consistently in background. And once you have the 5 charges, once you have that Fury, once you have those haters going, obviously the damage is quite crazy. I did end up using Mojo actually quite a bit in several of the chapters in Act 7. Which reminds me, I still need to get to my Act 7 MVP video as well and April tier list. And there's a bunch of videos that I'm falling behind. But I love making these as well. Right. So we're going to start with this one. So this is an unstoppable lane in 7.11. We're going to see that it involves fight or flight, muscle wizard, can't stop, one stop. Can't stop, one stop is always somewhat frustrating and very limiting path to do. And the fact that Mojo does have access to it is quite awesome because I believe it is Rogue synergy. It is Rogue or Korg. Which one was it? I think it's Korg one. That you do end up being able to have that unstoppable active and have that unstoppable active for quite a long time. And you do not necessarily need to rely on the unstoppable from the node in this case. But obviously, you do need to be careful with when unstoppable is active and when you are able to do your maximum amount of damage. So now he goes for level 3 that with his aura active will inflict, I believe, 5 degens as well, just like level 2 does. No, it actually inflicts, oh, never mind, it's 3 degens because he has not been ramped up yet. Just one more of those things that we are talking about, Mojo being a ramp up character. But obviously, Howard the Duck is quite favorable matchup there for Mojo because every time you parry him, he starts gaining his Furies, and if your aura is active, then those Furies start expiring, and you kind of get this fairly significant boost in the amount of degens you're able to place. The key thing, however, is obviously making sure that your unstoppable is active. Do remember this lane, it was quite a huge pain in the ass, but as we get further in the quest, as Mojo starts the fight ramped up, we're definitely going to see him being able to do these fights quicker. But at this point already, we can see definitely that Howard the Duck's health absolutely draining away now that you have finally kind of set up, gotten to 5 charges, go on for your level 2, you get 5 more degens, and that degen's taking away for tons of damage. Let's move on to the next fight. It's going to be against Obsidian. And Obsidian's a bit tricky one. He does get plenty of buffs on his level 1, but unfortunately they are permanent, so Mojo can't force them to expire quicker and can't place degens from that combo shield that Obsidian's getting. However, he does start the fight with a single buff, so you can get 1 extra degen there in place. Now, unfortunately, the quality seems to be not the greatest here, but we really did try our best. I was actually struggling quite a bit getting this footage to me, and we had to try several different file transfer methods and stuff like that, but this was the best that we could come up with, so please do accept my apologies for that. I am trying my best. And here, that Unstoppable still enabled Carl to block mid-special attack, which actually is quite annoying interaction there, because, you know, that Unstoppable expired immediately, but that immediately was not kind of good enough, and Carl still managed to block midway in that special attack. And watching this footage really makes me want to play around with my Mojo myself and just bring Mojo in either for like incursions or maybe some cavi Q lanes or something, because he is a very, very fun champion. That I can say for sure. Somebody who does have, you know, relatively decent SIG, rank 3, 6-star Mojo. I absolutely love using the guy. Always one of those champions, similar to Carnage, similar to Man Thing or iHulk, and so on, that just bring a smile to your face. And I understand that, you know, we're not all the same. We enjoy different things, and some of us, you know, enjoy different champions more than others. And, you know, if you don't enjoy using Mojo, that's perfectly fine. I'm not trying to Mojo shame anyone here. But I personally do always have a good time whenever I am running Mojo. And here, this is also a good showcase of Mojo's kind of sustainability. As a champion, Mojo is quite squishy, without a doubt. He doesn't have huge block proficiency, he doesn't have huge armor, and if you're going up against opponents that do have higher attack values, then you will definitely notice that you do take quite substantial amounts of block damage at times. However, at the same time, whenever your health does go below that 50% mark, your healing power increases significantly. And with that, obviously, you can just kind of forever float in that 30 to 50, 60% category, easily offsetting all the chip damage, covering for your mistakes, and, you know, being able to carry on clearing the fights. And it's just yet another kind of thing that I always kind of find reassuring for Mojo, that he does very, very well with, you know, a single revive put into him or what have you. So we can see that he's starting the fight at 42%, and well, we're gonna see where he finishes it, but whenever he does trigger that regen, when you are at low health, that regen is quite potent. 292 per tick is not bad at all. He's, you know, he's taken his chip damage, but he's already at 45% here. He's, you know, getting a few more chips in, which is fine. So he's gonna use his special attack here. He's gonna get his unstoppable, so his degens do proper damage. You can see that beast melting, him again eating, you know, plenty of hits in a block. But as soon as he's going to trigger that regen, you know, all of his health problems are solved, and that is exactly the way Mojo kind of like feels to play in, you know, majority of the game modes. You're always kind of on relatively low health, but you're never going, you know, critically low. You hardly ever go like below 20% or something. And surprisingly, I have actually made him work with Liquid Cottage Double Edge with the similar idea, because yes, the poison obviously does reduce the healing, but when you do go low on your health, if you go exclusively to level 2s and level 3s, then you can offset the recall damage and survive for much longer than many people would suspect Mojo being able to survive with Liquid Cottage Double Edge on, because he is, you know, special attack intensive character. But here we are. I think that's end of this clip, so we need to switch to part 2 against Venom the Duck. So he did clear this entire lane using only Mojo, which again, as always, is quite nice that you're able to do so. We can see that we're starting the fight at 20% health. He takes, you know, a harsh hit in a block, goes down to 18%. Again, as I said, he is quite squishy, but that regen always comes in clutch. It always helps you out. Here we can see that he's already back at 23%. Fortunately, this special attack, this special attack did still trigger the aura, so everything's fine. He's evading this level 2 perfect, and he's like back up to 26%. So you can kind of endlessly keep going, taking all the chip damage in the world. And here obviously you can see that Venom the Duck does generate buffs of his own as well occasionally. And he did start the fight here completely ramped up, and this fight is, you know, getting finished very, very quickly. There's not too much else to say about it. The degen is persistent and constant, and throughout the entire thing, yeah, Venom the Duck is already down. You can definitely notice the increase of speed in these fights when Mojo actually starts the fights ramped up, which is exactly what I was talking about earlier. So this fight should also hopefully be quite good. If he manages to push Colossus multiple times to level 2, because obviously Colossus does have a potential to be able to gain quite a lot of armor and buffs, but you do want to push Colossus to level 2 for that. So he's going to use a level 1 here. That's fine. And here we can see, unfortunately, he only procced 1 armor there. As he's getting low battery notification, that's fine. And he's going immediately for level 2. He's back up to 40%. Still haven't used a single potion on this lane. Just, you know, recovering and healing via his own abilities. So there he was very clever to pause his combo, wait out for that unstoppable. Goes for level 2. And again, Colossus is just completely melting away. And this has been, so far, extremely quick fight. And also, he's managed to get from 20% health to 47% health, which again is just such an underrated sustainability that Mojo has. And the fight's over here. The fight's over here, and does he go for the final fight, which is going to be against Yondu. I do believe this Yondu is the final boss now. and you did have to intercept. I actually didn't know if he's going to include this fight or not, but here we are. Here we are. I think we are going for 15 minutes as well, so this might actually be the last fight of the showcase. No, I'm gonna show one more path before that. We're just gonna skip the Labyrinth of Legends Starlord footage, or leave it for later at some point. Who knows? If you guys really want more Mojo gameplay, then you guys know how to get it. Just demand it in comments and hit that like button. If you hit the like button well enough, we're gonna get some more Mojo gameplay on the channel. Super masochism here kind of messed him over a bit. I actually want to see now. Now I'm very interested if he's gonna manage to clutch this out. He's going to manage to clutch this out. He definitely was in tough spot there at 2% health. Definitely was in a very, very tough spot at 2% health against Yondu, but he's doing it. Now he's back up to 10%. Degen's putting in work. Either champion now needs to use special attack. That prong should be doable if Yondu plays game. He triggers another regen. That obviously is quite helpful there. Yeah, no, he's pulling it back. This is like one of the better comebacks that have been sent in. He got back from 2% health to, at this point, 19%. And I'm sure he's going to heal up a bit. Yeah. So he went from 2 to 20+% in relatively short period of time and clutched out a fight. So very good job there. Very good job, bro. And then we have the last clip, which I don't even know which lane is this specifically, to be honest. But this clip is definitely in the better quality. So let's enjoy the quality improvement. And here we are. So Mojo against an old Man Logan. This could be very fun. If it works out, this could be very fun. Immediate 10 degens. If only he had that Fury active, it would have been even better. But Old Man Logan is such a perfect opponent for Mojo because he does get a ton of buffs and they are on a timer. So, Old Man Logan is genuinely such a good fight here. Unfortunately, the long distance relationship here also seems to be hindering the damage output. But if only he had that Fury active, there's 18 degens. This is a joy to watch. Now, this kind of inspires me to want to record some crazy Mojo against Old Man Logan gameplay. That could be very, very fun. Right, let's check out what is going to be the next lane. This is somewhere in... Oh, this is the Acta 614, where you can potentially go for like a super long path if you want to. But let's skip a bit further. I want to see the next fight where Mojo is going to start nearly ramped up. Okay, let's go against Agent Venom. And again, just another kind of like small showcase of the versatility of Mojo is the fact that Agent Venom, you know, typically is fairly annoying opponent to go up against if you rely on damage over time. Because most damage over time in this game is debuffs. And Agent Venom obviously shrugs it off. However, passive degen, there aren't champions that are immune to that. So it does work. It does work wonderful. Passive degen, you know, very rarely kind of has a matchup where it's not great. You know, yes, you have like Gladiator Hulk. Now we have Spider Ham who can reduce the degen damage. Now we have Mr. Negative. And we have Null who's capable of reducing degen damage. But that's like 4 champions out of 200 plus in the game. Versus normally, you know, it is a lot harder. Well, not a lot harder, but many more champions do have immunities or abilities to deal with your damage over time effects. Right, nearly lost my train of thought there. But I think this... Oh, Crossbones should be quite interesting. Okay, let's go against Crossbones. 30k Crossbones, so he needs to back him in the corner. This is one of those prompts that is either very easy or in some fights almost impossible to do. But I do not ever like that backing in the corner procs is like one of your first prompts. And here he is once again. So he just needs that Crossbone to keep using his level 1s, because then he's going to gain Furies. And every time he uses a level 1, obviously, the Furies do expire, and that will let those degens trigger. And at this point, obviously, the Crossbones is just completely melting away. It almost seems unfair. It almost seems unfair. So either way, that will do for now. I hope you guys enjoyed this Rank 4 Mojo showcase. And yeah, I do have quite a few other champions to showcase. I will try to upload maybe one more today. We'll see how busy I am, but it is Saturday, so I might take a bit of time for myself. But either way, hit those like buttons, hit those sub buttons, and I will catch you guys later. See ya. Hello there guys, and welcome back to the channel. So we have all the information about